So I've been watching a lot of tape for Yordenis Ugas, WBO welterweight champion, leading up to his unification match with Errol Spence Jr. And now this fight I'll be discussing what game plan Yordenis Ugas needs to put in place to defeat Errol Spence Jr. So Yordenis Ugas, he's a very strong fighter, underrated strength. Yordenis Ugas from round one out-muscled Sean Porter, proved that he was stronger than Sean Porter, something Errol Spence couldn't do. From the first round, Yordenis Ugas tamed Sean Porter. Sean Porter kind of fights like a bull. Here he goes, rage again, tries to ambush you. I know later in his career, he started popping out a jab and trying to box people for stretches at a time from the outside. But mostly he's like a bull. He tries to get in there, rough you up, beat you up on the inside. From the first round, Yordenis Ugas tamed Sean Porter. He was just much stronger than Sean Porter, and it was very evident. Even Sean Porter had a shock in his face from the strength of Yordenis Ugas. He's like, what's going on? I've never fought someone like this before. And Yordenis Ugas, he crouches in a bit. Crouches in. His elbows protect his entire body. Kind of like how Gennady Golovkin does at times, but he does a much more fluid, much better defense than Gennady Golovkin. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying he's as hittable as Gennady Golovkin. So he crouches in, has his elbows in, and has his hands up high. He does have both his hands up high, so people could say that he can block his vision, but I don't see him getting hit by a lot of shots. So he makes himself a very small target. You can't hit him. He's not a guy that stands tall, both his hands out there, like kind of like a Victor Postal. No, he makes himself a very small target, crouches in, and has a very, very quick and snappy jab. And Sean Porter himself said on his recent podcast, he said that Yordenis Ugas varies the speed of his shots. He does not throw all at the same speed. Sometimes he's going to get 30 miles per hour. Sometimes he's going to get 70 miles per hour. He varies his speed. And that's very evident just watching him fight. He's not, as I said, he's not easily hit. He varies his jab, but he tends to like to stand right in front of his opponent and counter punch for punch. Like, I'm going to dodge this punch and right there snap another punch. I'm going to dodge this punch and land another punch. I'm going to dodge this punch and hit you right there. I don't think that's extremely effective against Errol Spence Jr. because Errol Spence Jr., he's not more of, I'm not saying he doesn't think, but he's not a thinking fighter. He doesn't go in there, oh, let me look for angles. No, he's the type of fighter that goes in there, just tries to get his head on your chest and unleash punishment. Now, against Danny Garcia, another counterpuncher, Danny Garcia couldn't get set up against Errol Spence. Danny Garcia has probably one of the worst footwork I've ever seen. That's not a problem for Yordenis Ugas. Yordenis Ugas has impressive footwork. Always knows where to be. Always knows how to move his feet. Is 6-1 against southpaws. Well, to be fair, Errol Spence is undefeated against orthodox fighters. Officially, you could make an argument that he lost the Sean Porter fight. Now, Yordenis Ugas, his jab versus Errol Spence's jab. I think Errol Spence has a heavier jab, but Ugas has a faster jab. And Spence, as I said, he didn't let Danny Garcia set himself up to counter him. He was on top of him all night. That won't work. That same style won't work against Yordenis Ugas. Yordenis Ugas does not have to set himself up to counter you. Because Danny Garcia, when he tries to counter you, he tries to knock you out with each punch. It was very effective at 140, extremely ineffective at 147. I know he did beat guys like Randy Rios, but that's not really something that's extremely hard to do for an elite welterweight. Timothy Bradley, a fighter with 9 knockouts in his entire career, knocked out Randy Rios. Not extremely hard to do for elite level welterweights. For you and me, extremely hard. But you can say that's Danny Garcia's most impressive stoppage win. He knocked him out cold at 147, but he couldn't do that against Errol Spence. Even if he landed clean, it wasn't going to knock Errol Spence out. Yordenis Ugas is not like a Danny Garcia. He's not trying to land that no-look left hook that he caught Rod Salka with. No. He's trying to just score punches. Yordenis Ugas is his power is decent just by the eye test, but he only has 12 knockouts in 31 fights. Does not mean he does not have power. It means he does not care for the knockout. He's just trying to score quicker than you can score. He's just, Errol Spence throws the jab, misses the jab, boom, left hand, boom, right hand right there, boom, body shot right there. That's how he fights. Just very quick reactions, trying to counter you as quickly as possible. Now, and that could work for stretches at a time, especially early in the fight, before Errol Spence catches a rhythm. Errol Spence against Shawn Porter, it took him 4 rounds for me to catch a rhythm. But following the car crash, following the hiatus from the ring, he started very quickly against Danny Garcia, but faded very in the fight. I thought he won the first 8 rounds very easily, started quickly, firing on all cylinders. But then round 9, Errol Spence's punch output decreased very quickly, and I had Danny Garcia winning the last 4 rounds. Now, vintage Errol Spence is known for being that pressure fighter, high stamina, strong engine. Coming in here, he's going to wear you down, might even stop you late. That's not the same fighter we saw against Danny Garcia. Now, I know we saw a more sophisticated version of Spence against Shawn Porter and Mikey Garcia, but I thought we saw not the best Spence against Danny Garcia. And since fighting Danny Garcia, Spence has had an eye injury. He has had a retina tear. Historically, that ends horribly for fighters. Let's hope Errol Spence can be an outlier. Let's hope that he can be a good story about this. That, oh, you know what? There's a guy who suffered a retina tear and came back fully, but it usually doesn't happen. So for Yordenis Ugas, his game plan should be to counter Spence as quickly as possible, make himself as small of a target as possible, and hope Spence has deteriorated. Is that the right word? I'm not even sure what the right word is. And he's gotten worse to the point where it could be an easy night for him, because he'd have to make it look like an easy night to get a decision in Texas. He won't. If he wins at 7-5, 8-4, sadly, I don't think he's going to get the fight. If he wins at 7-5, they're going to give it to Spence 7-5. If he wins 8-4, it's going to be a draw. He needs to make it a 10-2, 9-3 type of fight. And I think he has the full capability to do so. If Spence is not the same fighter he was before, it will be even easier for Ugas to do that. But that's the game plan I got for Ugas. I'm going to make a similar video for Spence, and we'll talk about that when we get there. But Ugas needs to make it look as easy as possible, and he has the ability to do that. Let's see if he can do it against Errol Spence. That's my thoughts. That's what I think Yordenis Ugas should do in his fight against Errol Spence. Give me your thoughts in the comment section below. What if you were, even if you're a PBC fan, even if you're an Errol Spence fan, forget about that for a minute. If you were in Yordenis Ugas' corner, what would you tell him? I don't care who you're cheering for. I don't care who you want to win. I don't care what type of agenda you have. Just put that all on the side and envision yourself. You're being paid 10% by Yordenis Ugas. Give me a game plan. Put it in the comment section below. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Sadiq Boxing out.